5 people dead and dozens displaced. Now, just before the storm hit, Mr. Gary was in Washington, D.C. that Friday meeting a FEMA representative, but he flew back into Little Rock at 1 p.m. The tornado that swept through central Arkansas touched down just about an hour and a half later, tearing through Pulaski County. So you're looking at something that's 3 months late, and I can tell you from direct information that the people that I know that lived in those neighborhoods, and some of them, yes, they did lose their homes. Most of them are staying with family and friends. In fact, I know of no one that is not without a home or a location to go. Some have chosen to stay in hotels. And so the hotels are fairly full of people that were displaced. So my question is, why 3 months late? Why now, after we're seeing tanks in the streets and massive military movement? Well, I think part of the information can be seen and explained in actually a weather report that came out today. And this, I believe, was in Bethesda, Maryland. This was a news channel, Storm Team 4, in the Maryland area. And I did watch the video, and he said, according to the weatherman who was explaining anomalies on the live weather radar to his audience, he said that the military have been doing exercises for the past 2 weeks, which has altered the weather. And although it looks like rain out there, it's not. We already know, family, that there is such thing as weather warfare, weather manipulation, and I believe that all of these things that I just basically brought to your information are all tied together, which is why we have been heavily promoting that you get indexed, because if you will not get indexed, you will be doomed. With that, I'd like to go ahead and yield the call to Dr. HENDO I.L. Henderson, the ad hoc Chief Justice of the Universal World Court. He is Yehoshua Mashiach, the Son of Man, the Son of God. Rise and shine, sir.
Rise and shine, how do you hear me?
Very clearly, sir.
Outstanding. Should be in a very low, relaxed mode at the time, based upon the fact that everything that you're talking about right now has already been foretold. Everyone on the planet should already be well aware of everything that's going on now. No one should be running around saying, I never heard, or I don't believe, or I can't believe it, or it's too good to be true. Or these are just some so-called would-be wacko people who are coming with some, as they would call it, a theory? Conspiracy. Conspiracy theory is what they would actually possibly say. But you have to ask them the question, where did you get this conspiracy theory thought from? Where did it come from? Why are you using it? Why does it sound like something that's just fashionable to say just because you believe that there's a bunch of people out here that have lost their mind just because your government is telling you that they lost their minds? But it's likely for one to think like that because for the past 250 years, the whole would-be United States, if they might call themselves still that, has been claiming to be under the same would-be thought. But it's been nothing more than a thought of manipulation, a design thought, a made-up thought, where everybody is designed to do nothing more than accept the fact that supposedly they're all in this together. Well, somebody say, this is a great day to scream and holler and shout, rise and shine, I would say to you, because I'm sitting back, I'm enjoying it from where I'm at. And I know a lot of people are hearing me say that, and they're saying, well, that's possibly because you know what's coming and you know what's happening, so it'd be easy to relax, which is very not a relaxed place to be. Because if you already know where it's coming from, you already should know also that you know the end result. And I can assure you, it's no relaxed end result. It's going to be catastrophically, I would say, dangerous just for the eyes and the ears to behold it, because it's going to be devastating for everyone on the planet, everyone. Now, as I'm listening to the host, and she did ask a question, so I'm going to answer her question. She's asking a question, I believe. Where do you think this is coming from, and what do you think this is all about? So let me tell her. First of all, that rain that everybody is seeing is better known as nuclear, biological, chemical warfare. And yes, it's raining, it's misting a whole lot of chemicals out of the sky right now. And even though some people are saying, well, it's rain, but it don't taste like rain, it don't look like rain, it don't act like rain, but they're saying it's rain. It gets you wet. Again, I say, because it is not rain. It's nuclear, biological chemicals. And they're raining down on you, yes, in a fashionable way where you're getting wet. But they're not designed just to wet you up. So I would tell you, be very careful. An umbrella would be ideal. But after a few days, if you look at the umbrella, you will realize that it will start to lose its color, unless it's of a bright color like red. And then it'll start looking as if though you hit it with bleach. And you'll start seeing a white little spot form on it. Now, providing that you get a lot of this rain hitting you, you just might see that umbrella sitting there drying out in this form, only to find yourself the next time it rains running to grab it, and you'll realize the water will leak through on it. All right? It will form little rips and tears in it. Now, I'm not saying this to scare you, and I know Shelley, our host, is having a major time getting people to index, especially those people that consider themselves to be people status, people who believe they have money, people who believe that, well, I don't need to be connected with you guys because I'm all right. I'm set. I got a nice house. I got a nice car. And, I retired, and I don't see no reason to be connecting to all of these conspiracies that are going on. I know. But notice that you did say conspiracy. You didn't say it was a thought of a conspiracy. You didn't call it a theory. You said all of those conspiracies that are going on. And it is a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy to destroy. You just so happen to believe that they're going to allow you to survive after all of the other people that they're going to destroy. Not going to happen. They don't need you either. You are expendable. You are more expendable than anyone. You're expendable, not just expendable, because expendable means they need you. Expendable means that they're going to execute you. They don't need you at all. You're expendable. So because you're an expendable person, or an expendable system, believe it or not, right now they have this would-be so-called submarine, and today adventure marine. But anyway, it's underwater. It's immersed. I call it, I'm believing it that they're calling it the immersed submarine. Got billionaires on it. That's because you're expendable. They don't need you, because those of you that are claiming to be millionaires, and possibly on your way to being millionaires, you ain't got a penny, because the dollar is not worth a wooden Indian-head nickel. I've already explained that to you, how that works. So you're claiming to have money, but they don't need you, because they realize that money has no credibility. And right now, they're looking for something to give credit back to an economy which is falling apart, and a government that's going to shut down. It's going to shut down. So they're looking for something to give it credit, and you're not it. You're not even close to being it. They don't care how many brand new suits you got in your closet that cost over $4,000. They don't care. You are the very ones that are expendable. Go ahead, ask Elon Musk. That's why they're screaming about tax the rich, tax the wealthy, because they don't need you anymore. They don't need you. And they're going to eliminate you. They're going to destroy you. They're going to exterminate you, because you're the very ones that they don't need. But you're in the way. You're in the way of them reestablishing some credit that they need to be able to keep a government open, in which don't like rich people anyway. Stay with me. No, I'm not attacking you. I'm informing you of what's going on right now. So for the answer, they keep asking, what do you think is going on? Let me help you out. A few years ago, like about 30 years ago, they came up with something that they found. They classified it as weather enhancement. Weather enhancement. That means that any weather that they can find, that they can say might happen, or it's preparing itself to happen, they can enhance it. That's what's going on out there now, and what they classify to be the sea, whereby they're talking about it probably go through the Caribbean. They're talking about a hurricane is forming. That's not just any old hurricane, people. They already told you that it's not the right time for a hurricane, but they're wondering, why is it developing? And they're trying to make it sound like it's such a would-be so-called time that no one could truly believe that a hurricane is now forming. Listen, it's called weather enhancement. I'm going to repeat. Weather enhancement. The same thing that got Hurricane Katrina, yes, Hurricane Ike. We could go on and on and on. All of the hurricanes that found themselves under something that was known as weather enhancement. Yes. Nobody is saying that those hurricanes was not going to happen. I'm just telling you the truth. They were heavily enhanced so that the would-be so-called damage would be greater. That's what everyone should already have figured out. So it doesn't matter if it's a small tsunami or tsunami that you call it. It doesn't matter if it's small or large. They can enhance it to any size that they want it to be. Be unrighteous. No, the disagreeables. They can enhance it at any time they want to, because they have a weather machine to enhance it. I know. There someone goes. Here they go with the conspiracy theories. No, you think they're conspiracy theories because you've been brainwashed to believe that. When we know it has nothing to do with theory. It's got everything to do with conspiracy. And that conspiracy is to eliminate you off the planet. And more than likely, they will eliminate you, because you got that would-be so-called elephant mentality, where they have you chained to a little small stump or a little small peg. And you being an elephant as giant as you are, haven't got the brains enough. You don't forget anything. You just don't have the brains enough to realize that that little peg is not really holding all that weight to that one spot. So you just keep walking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and you ain't really going anyplace, because it's either you are afraid of that little peg, or they really have manipulated you to believe that you've been trained to the point that you're not going to break that peg. You're not going to pull that chain out of the ground. You're not going to do any of that. You're just going to go back and forth, slinging that big old huge nose of yours around and not really catching anything. Say with me. No, I'm not attacking you. I'm informing you of what's going on right now. weather enhancement has been going on for about 30 years now. Maybe a little bit longer, okay, for you, Mr. Wise Guy, Mr. Expert on working around the weather with the so-called fronts and the meteoroids and meteorites and all those other planets that are falling. You're an expert at it. I'm just giving them the truth about it. So I know most of you are working out there in Montana. Yes. Some of you are way, way out there in Montana. Some of you are in Utah. They already know what you're doing. You got those little weather stations, they call them. Built like a little small balloon, but, they're huge. And all you do every day is watch the weather, watch the storms. You watch the clouds. You may even every now and then chase down a tornado or two. But you already know that they're enhancing the weather. They're enhancing the storm. A little small tornado comes and they enhance it to be a giant tornado. Yes. Hail comes and they enhance it to not just be the size of golf balls, but they like softballs and basketballs. So they're enhancing it. Stop it, people. I know it sounds like a dream, a fairy tale. It sounds like a conspiracy theory. I know. You would want to believe, but it's a fact. And that shaking of the ground that they're calling an earthquake enhancement. They also have what they call wedge busters. The wedge busters are sent underground, and they kind of open up a whole huge tunnel underground. I know. You got some experts out there now, they're listening. And they're saying, wow, we tried to tell them that, but they wouldn't believe us. We just only worked in those tunnels for years. We're the ones who open up a lot of those tunnels that goes into Mexico, comes out of Mexico, that go into America. They go all the way from America. They tunnel across the Woodby Ocean. You will find them tunnels popping out over in the Middle East. You find those tunnels everywhere you go. They're called, and the wedge busters created them. I know. Mountain drillers, some people call them. They're nothing more than wedge busters. They carve through, solid rock. Solid rock. You can go through it. They carve through it. They carve through iron ore. They carve through, everything that's under the ground. They can carve through it with a wedge buster. They look kind of like a drill. It looks kind of like a Makita drill, maybe a Milwaukee drill. It's a little bit better than Black & Decker. It works. It works. It don't have a whole lot of problems. But no, I'm just messing with you, Black & Decker. I'm not saying you make bad equipment. I'm just saying your equipment is not qualified as well as Makita and Milwaukee. But anyway, another story. And there goes DeWalt. They want to complain now. Okay, everybody's in. You got the drill bit. It looks nice. But these wedge busters are huge drills. Yes, but they're on the end of some big old drills. And these bits that are in front of those drills go straight through a mountain. Straight through it. It'll build a tunnel. You can put a train on the track the next day. Follow right behind it. Because they're going to clean up that would-be so-called bedrock. They're going to open up a tunnel, and it's so pretty. That's right. In a matter of a day. Wedge busters. They go underground. They create the ground to crumble. They create the earth to shake. They even get to a point where they hit things, cause them to do nothing more than collapse. The ocean will collapse underneath nothing more than the land. And then the land will begin to get sucked in by the water. I'm just telling you what's happening. I mean, Florida is sinking. Everyone knows that Florida is sinking. California is sinking. Everyone knows that California is sinking. Maine is sinking. Everyone knows that Maine is sinking. Washington State is sinking. Everybody knows that Washington State is sinking. Stay with me. All around the edges of the United States of America, that land is sinking. And everybody already knows that it's not just because of the water. Knowing that the majority of the land underneath is like salt. It's sand. And what it starts doing is when water hits it, it starts dissolving. Like a lump of sugar. It starts dissolving. And when it starts dissolving, whatever it is, it's going to start sinking to the bottom, but it won't come back to a solid. Stay with me. I'm just giving you the facts of what's happening right now. No, I'm not trying to scare anyone. I just need you to understand what's happening right now. And believe it or not, the United States of America, no, they're not trying to prevent it. They're trying to enhance it due to the fact they have been told that they have to give back all, not just some of the land, all of the land has to be returned to those people that were originally on that land. Originally, the people that was on it. They want it given back. And America is like, I told you before, years ago I told you, they're like that old spouse that has lost his spouse. He has lost his significant other. He was in love with her. She didn't know it. So now he says, if I can have her, I see everybody just said what I was about to say, so I'm going to go to something else. Well, let me just put it this way. That old girl that had that guy, and she lost him. She is now saying, if I can have him, why y'all keep doing that? Y'all just won't let me say. Okay, anyway. So that's what's happening then. They're going to make sure that because they can't have it, nobody else is going to get it. And they're trying to destroy it. By whatever means is necessary, they're going to destroy it. Or they're going to put it in a form where they're going to threaten everybody. And when everybody starts seeing a lot of it disappear, they're going to start screaming out for America, help us, we're going down. We can't throw us a vote. And they're going to come in and pretend to be helping. rebuilding, restructuring. They're doing it now. They put bridges up the next day, they collapse. I'm just telling you what's happening right now. Yes, they're even building underground tunnels right now. They say it's for the protection of the people. So when this war does happen, the people will be able to go underground for protection. My advice, don't go underground. I'm just telling you, because if you go underground, easy burial. It'll be a burial site that will be sacred for the next 250 years, because they're not going to let anybody dig up the truth. Stay with me. No, I'm not laughing, people. I'm getting you to understand what's really going on so you can stop walking around talking about some theories, some conspiracy theory, putting it on your Facebook. They're watching. They're listening. It's not a conspiracy theory. They already know that. Trust me. They have watchers that are on your Facebook pages. I already told you that years ago. Some, I guess, bright female told you that I just didn't want you on there because I was going to be able, you would see me wearing lipstick and a wig. I'm just messing with you. But anyway, I'm saying to you, if you want to stay on Facebook, my advice to you is don't be talking about a conspiracy theory, because they know that it's not a conspiracy theory. They also know that if you're calling it a conspiracy theory, you're not going to believe what they're really about to do to you. You're not going to believe them. So they're not worried about it. They're just going to go ahead and perform their task and making things happen. And they're not going to say anything to you. They're just going to make it happen. What I'm saying to you right now is that, as Shelley has stated to you, your safety, your survival is indexing yourself. Identify yourself. Because if you're not identified, they'll cover the hole, and guess what? You'll already be accounted for, non-accountable, lost. You'll possibly be classified as being in some merged submarine underwater. And they're going to pretend that they never knew you was on that manifest. Because your name, it ain't written anywhere. I know. A lot of you think you've been identified just because you have a house in the Hamptons, or perhaps you're staying in Napa Valley. You just want to believe that everybody knows who you are. Let me help you out. Nobody knows you. Nobody but the people that follow you. Those people that don't follow you don't care who you are. You might want to talk to some of the old so-called stars out there that have been sitting around recently, talking to people that didn't even know them from Little Boy Blue. They was talking to them about how many games they had played and how many yards they had gotten. The people, they would ask them, well, what's your name? I never heard of you. I know O.J. Simpson. I knew about, Bo Jackson, but who are you? And when they mentioned their name, the people look at them like, okay. Because they have no clue that a lot of those men that they were talking to were people that set records that O.J. Simpson was trying to break. Those men they were talking to were men that set records that Bo Jackson was trying to break. But nobody remembered them. Nobody cares. That's why it's important for you to index and identify yourself. Because you are still right now a nobody. No matter how much money you got, no matter how much time you put in, no matter how many games you played, it doesn't matter how many shots you shot on a so-called would-be court. Nobody cares. They're going to act as if though you never existed. They're going to act that way. All because right now you're not identified. Index. Get yourself indexed. That is your saving grace. That is your life. That is restoration. You will be restored. You will be not only restored, but you will also be totally remembered. Remembered for what reason? Because you have to find yourself being resurrected. There's only one God on this universe. No, we're not about to go to church. I'm not going to ask you to pray. Don't need no would-be so-called offerings. Don't need it. Keep it. No love tokens. Don't need any of that. What I need you to do is recognize the fact that if you don't get identified, they're going to destroy you. War Powers Act. War Powers Act is set up for those that are indexed. The military is not going to attack you. Not those that are indexed. They can't. They have a contract. You know why? Because they're indexed. They index themselves. The United States Army is indexed. The United States Marine is indexed. They're not indexed under those titles. You know what they got themselves indexed under? Most of them are calling themselves first responders. First responders is what they're calling themselves. Others are calling themselves rescuers. I'm telling you the names that they're giving themselves that they have been identified, and they're going to be taken care of when you're going to allow yourself to be destroyed. First responders. First responders. Listen to what I'm telling you. Rescuers. Yes. Those are the people that are considered that's going to save the multitude of people. They're classified as first responders. Most of them now, they go to all of your sporting goods stores. They ask some of the people that are first responders, they'll tell you. They're not all fire departments. They're not all working for the rescue department. They're military. They're military. And they're classified as first responders. They're part of the group that is known as the War Powers Act. And they're the ones that's going to be set out to save those that are indexed. They're identified. They're going to go, they're going to save them, whether they're in a rubber raft, whether they be in a submarine, whether they be in a would-be so-called tank, whether they be in an aircraft. They're going to be saving people that are identified and indexed. Saddest thing is it happened before. I'm not going to tell you exactly where it happened at, but there's a lot of men and a lot of women that disappeared during that time. A lot of them was incarcerated. A lot of them were living right there, elderly, in houses, and they were destroyed. And guess what? They are nobody manifest. They are nobody's records. They're gone. They had bank accounts. They had money. They would call it that. And guess what? It all went back to the state. When you leave this planet the way America has it set up, if you leave this planet and there's no one to claim your so-called wealth that you leave behind, it goes to the state. It goes to the government. Yes. And once they get it, they use it. They don't put it back into a system waiting for everybody to come and collect from it. It's not going to happen. They use it. Because as far as they're concerned, it was a lost treasure, and they found it. United States of America, this is your call. Welcome to the call. Rise and shine. I'm just carrying you along with me. I'm so glad that you could make it to this call. I'm so glad that you've been in your ear for the last few, I would say, 20, 25 minutes that we've been speaking to each other now. Or is it longer than that? Sit back and relax. Who cares? But anyway, I'm welcoming you to the call because you are now finally about to get that mind that you've been wondering, thinking, is all of this real or am I dreaming? I could tell everyone right now to just stop for a moment and go into your sewing kit and everybody grab a needle. I can tell you to stick yourself. If you holler out, then I'll tell you that it's real. But in the case that you don't holler out, I need you to understand. That means that they've done something to you to take away the feeling that you had in your body. And that, you don't need to scream to know that it's real. I'm just giving you facts. So we're not going to play games with each other. Is it real? Is it not real? Could this be true? Could this not be true? Yes, it is all true. But only the truth, once the people receive it, will truly set the people free. When the people receive this truth, they shall receive it in a manner where they will be free and free indeed. There will be no doubt whatsoever. They will not be walking around as they are doing now, as a bunch of zombies, people screaming out loud, walking down the street, mumbling things that no one else can understand, rolling their heads from side to side, finding themselves going from one end of the street to the other end of the street, stopping at corners that have no stop signs. They're standing there, gazing in the sky as if though they're waiting for the would-be so-called lights to change. I'm talking about the traffic lights. They're waiting for them to change, people. They don't go through the walkway. They just take the route right across the would-be so-called freeway. They get hit there because they're wondering, why is there a car here in the middle of the freeway, knowing I'm here? I'm just telling you what's happening. And it's all because of the diet that the people are on. I know some people say, I'm glad I changed. I'm eating good. I'm eating healthy. I don't eat anything that does not say organic. I know. I hear you. It's organic. I got you. Organic of what? How did you get the organic plant? Let me help you out. So you understand that I'm not attacking you again. I'm just informing you of the truth. About the year of 1982, America began to siege. Notice I use the word siege. They sieged what was known as all of the would-be natural seeds, S-E-E-D. They sieged all of the natural organic seeds from Florida. They did it from Alabama. They did it from Georgia. They did it from Mississippi, Louisiana. They did it all the way to Mexico City. I'm talking about Mexico. I didn't say it. I'm telling you they went outside of the nations. And they also began to seed or to gather up all of the would-be so-called natural seeds, S-E-E-D. And they began to take them and put them in a position where the people could not receive them unless they were farmers. But that was the biggest catch of it all. They never gave it to the farmers. They kept the seeds. And all they were giving the farmer, there you go, somebody's screaming it now. I know it. I thought that I told you something that was different about that cabbage. I told you that. I told you that those potatoes, there was something different about them. I know. Right now, you can get a sweet potato in a plastic bag that'll only last for about 2 or 3 days. If you don't microwave it. If you don't microwave it, it's gone. It'll turn bad on you in 2 or 3 days. A sweet potato. That tells you that sweet potato is not a natural sweet potato. It's not. Why? Because it was grown in a hothouse. It was grown out of an incubator. It was grown out of laboratory would-be so-called tube, and it was placed right straight in your would-be so-called supermarket, in your produce section. I'm just giving you the facts. Okay, conspiracy theory, whatever. That's your business. You deal with that. I'm just giving you what's happening. So people stop it with the organic. I keep telling you the major way to save yourself from all of these chemicals and what's being fed in the vegetables and in the meat and all you can do is talk and pray. That's what they would normally say in the old school neighborhoods. Girl, you can eat it, but you better pray about it. Just pray about it. It'll be okay. And eat it. I'm just telling you, because that's the way it is right now. You may stumble up every now and then on a real organic seed. When you place that seed in the ground, and it begins to grow an apple tree, and the apple tree is going to be nice looking, beautiful. The apples are going to be huge. Huge. The seeds on the inside of them are very small. You're going to bite into that apple, and it's not going to be sweet at all. Why? I don't know. Maybe they hit it with some of that, sugar-free. That's a sugar-free apple you just grown. But just stay with me. I'm just giving you the truth, dude. Call it what you want to. It's a sugar-free, sugarless apple. That's all you just grown. I know it looked pretty. It was a beautiful tree. I know the apples, they look nice. You could have put them in a bowl, and you could have took a picture of them, and you could have sold that as a card, a postcard. And you could have said, these apples were grown in my backyard. And you can put them on a postcard. But they to be eaten, they don't have no sugar in them. And the seeds, you're still looking for some of them, because you can't find them. You can't find them. They're just that small. You grow an apple. Apple seeds were normally dark and brown. They're now coming out. They be green and yellow. I'm talking about the seeds. Some of them are clear. They have cut open apples now with clear seeds in them. I mean, you can see through the seed. I know. I'm just giving you the truth. Conspiracy theory? No. Conspiracy? Yes. So stop it with organic. Stop it. If you find something you believe is organic, if you're believing that, let's just say your belief is what's going to keep you healthy. It will not be what you're eating. I'm just giving you facts. And I'm not telling everybody to stop eating. That's not what I'm just saying. I'm telling you that to eat it, you better believe in your Allah. You better believe in the only God of the universe. You better believe in some God. Because if you're eating it, chances are you've already been contaminated. I have. I know that. I'm not in fear of it, though. For those of you that are in fear of being contaminated, I'm just telling you, you're the main ones that have to worry. I don't have to worry. We're all being contaminated. We're all being contaminated every day. We are walking outside. We're taking off the mask. They realize that to put the mask on, you were contaminating yourself double time. Now they realize you take the mask off, you slowly contaminate yourself, which is great because they say you got a lot of time on your hands before you really disappear. So go ahead and deal with it. I'm just telling you what's going on right now. And no, they're not trying to attack me because they already know that everything I'm saying, let's just say, they have taken a poll. They say that 62% of the people that I'm talking to right now still do not believe. They don't believe. I know people would tell me, well, why would you give it up on them? I can't. I would that every man should be saved. I would that every woman should be saved. I would that everyone should be saved. I cannot give up on them. I can't stop. I wasn't sitting here on this planet to stop. I wasn't put on this planet to give up. I must do my best. I must do my greatest to save everyone on this planet. Everyone. I just know that everyone that says to my Father, 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 God, God, Yah, Jesus, Jesus. I just know that not every one of them are going to be saved. I'm already up. I understand that. That don't mean I'm going to stop working on them. That doesn't mean I'm going to give up on them. No, not going to happen. I want every man to be saved. We must save everybody. You have to understand, to save yourself is to save someone else. Think about it. We have to save the people. That's our goal. Remember, those people that we're talking to, we believe, we want to at least understand that they're just like us. They're not of this world. No, they can't get out of this world. We're not asking them to leave this world. No, we don't want them to. But we want them to save themselves from the evil one. Again, I do believe that there's some evil ones in all of us. But there's some evil ones around us. There's even much more wickeder. I know one says you can't measure wickedness. You can't measure evilness. I say to a degree, whoever says that is crazy. Because there is some serious, top-of-the-line wickedness going on. And believe it or not, it comes from those who are just looking for nothing more than wealth. Wealth. Money. That's the wealth they believe in. Money. They don't believe in the wealth that you believe in. The wealth that you believe in is that you're believing that you're going to have a life and have life more abundantly. You just want to be able to live. You just want to be able to enjoy yourself. You just want to be able to not be stressed every day. But those that are looking for their kind of wealth, they're rich. All they want is money. Money, money, money. George Carlin would say, even they're claiming that Jesus the Christ wants money. They're screaming that he needs more money. He says he's 2,000 years old, George Carlin would say, and they're still saying he needs more money. And we must understand that that's not something that we are looking for. Most of us, our wealth is just to be able to live happy, to be able to get past these ailments that some of the people have. Some people now just want their bodies restored. Yes, they have developed major would-be medical conditions behind these would-be so-called artificial preservatives. Artificial preservatives. And listen to that. Artificial preservatives. What are they? Are they plastic? Metal flakes? What are they? What are these artificial? What are they? Preservatives. Artificial. Inside of fruits. Inside of candy. Inside of sodas. But they're artificial. What is this artificialness? Where does it come from? The laboratory. Chemicals. A laboratory. A test tube. That's where they come from. People, I'm going to give you a short break, but I need you to consider what I'm saying. Because it's real. It's not a theory. It's a conspiracy. And that conspiracy is here to destroy you. It's not here to destroy the wicked. The wicked is already destroyed. They're just waiting to lie down. It's here to destroy you, old man. For they already know what it is that my Father has requested of you. They know. There's 3 things that my Father has requested of you. My advice to you, learn those 3 things and begin to do them, to live those 3 requirements, to exercise the right to live those 3 requirements that God has of you. I'm talking about Yah Allah, the only God of the universe. He has 3 requirements of you. Once you start operating in those 3 requests that he has requested of you, required of you, once you start working in those 3, I guarantee you, your life will get better. But until then, I'm going to take a short break.